welcome to Learn How YouTube tutorial. Myself Sudip Adhikari and I am your arts teacher. As you all know, there are basically 4 subjects which is very important in the arts stream. Number 1, history. Number 2, geography. Number 3, civics. And number 4, English grammar. Among those 4 subjects, there are many issues with English, geography and history. In today's tutorial, I will start with a very early stage of English grammar. But before I begin, there is an announcement for you. At the end of each class, I will put 1 or 2 questions for you and you will have to answer them in the comment box below. So without wasting any time, let's begin the class. So in today's class, I will mainly discuss about 3 things. We will discuss number 1, the definition of verb, number 2, classification of verb, and number 3, relation with tense concept. Okay. So number 1, definition of verb. So what is the definition of verb? Actually, I don't want to give any particular definition of verb. I want you should have made the exact definition according to your own knowledge, what you have learned from my school, class. So what is the definition of verb? I am writing here a sentence. I go to school. Here, I means pronoun. You all know about pronoun. School is a common noun. You also know. And go. It is the work. It is the work. And when we are talking about the concept work, there a question arises. What is that question? The question is when. When the work have done. That is the question. And when the work have done arises, there are basically 3 answers. Number 1, in present time. Number 2, in past time. And number 3, in future time. So in spite of imitating from various grammar books, now we can write our own definition of verb. So let's see what I can give as a definition of verb. A verb is a kind of word that denotes work, state of work Clear? Isn't it simple? That work is the main component of a sentence. So that is why verb is also the main component of sentence. So work equal to verb. Clear? Now let's jump into the second segment, that is the classification of verb. The classification of verb. Basically, there are a lot of classifications, but today we will discuss about the basic two classifications. That is, number one, the lexicative verb, or you can call it the principal verb. And number two is auxiliary verb. Or you can call it helping verb. Helping verb. Okay. Now, in lexicative verbs, what is lexicative verb? It is very important. At first, let's clear the concept of lexicative verb or the principal verb. I am drawing here a school. Suppose it is a school, and here the principal belongs. And here are the rooms of ordinary teachers: history teacher, geography teacher, physics teacher, chemistry teacher, English teacher, etc. First of all, what do you know? You all know that principal is the head of the department. Head of department. Right? Now, those teachers are actually working under his command. It is same as when you are using a principal verb into a sentence. Principal verb is independent. It is compact. In a particular sentence. So now, principal verb are basically categorized into 5 types of formations. Number 1, V1 formation. Number 2, V2 formation. Number 3, V3 formation. Number 4, V4 formation. And number 5, V5 formation. V1 formation, V2 formation, V3 formation, V4 formation and V5 formation. So let's discuss about those 5 formations. Number 1, V1, present form of plural number. Plural number. V2, past form. V3, past participle form. V4, that is present participle form. Or ing form. And V5, present form of singular number. Okay, that's clear. So we cleared the concept of lexicative verb and we divided the lexicative verb into 5 parts: V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. And what is V1, what is V2, V3, V4, V5? We discussed it. If you have any problem further related to that formations of lexicative verb, I will later make it another video to clear the concept. Now let's jump into auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb are basically divided into 3 parts. One, principal or primary auxiliary verb. Number 2, modal auxiliary verb. Number 3, marginal auxiliary verb. So now we will discuss about the various classifications of auxiliary verb. So now we will jump right to the auxiliary verb. Auxiliary verb are basically 3 types of verbs, or the auxiliary verbs can be divided into 3 types: primary auxiliary, modal auxiliary and marginal auxiliary. Primary auxiliary further subdivided into 3 parts: be verb, have verb and do verb. Yes. Now let's see the examples of be verb. In present or in present tense, am, is, are. Those are the be verb. And in past, was and were. Those are the principal auxiliary verb. Have verb. In present, have and has, and in past, had. So now we have completed the ultimate 2 types of auxiliary verbs, that is the be verb and have verb. And what is do verb? You all know about do verb. That do verb is actually used in simple present and in simple past. So now let's talk about the modal. It is very important to use the modal in a particular way. I am giving here some kind of examples of modal. Can, may, should. Those are the modals. I will discuss it later in my next videos or in my next tutorials. And number 3, there is marginal verb. So marginal verb is similar like modal auxiliary, but they are categorized into another category because of some extra features. Now I am writing the examples of marginal auxiliary verbs, that is need. Number 1, dare. Number 2, used to. It's the number 3. So here in our entire concept, we know about the classification of various verbs, classification of lexislative verb, classification of auxiliary verb, and now we are going to learn about some features of lexislative verb and the features about auxiliary verb. So from my lecture, the features of lexislative verbs are: number one, they are independent. Number two, they are the main component of a sentence. Component. And if we want to write the features of the auxiliaries, now we will discuss some of the key concepts of auxiliary verb. Feature. Number one feature of auxiliary verb is it forms negatives. Whenever you want to make some negative sentence, you have to use auxiliaries. Number two, it forms questions. Similarly, whenever you want to make some questions, you have to use these auxiliaries. And number three, most important part, and I can say the most important work of an auxiliary, it is to differentiate the tense. Differentiate tense. Okay. So what we have learned today, we summarize the fact. First of all, we have learned the definition of verb, and secondly, we have learned the relationship between the verb and the tense concept. That is the past tense, present tense and future tense. Number three, we have learned the classification of verb. We have learned the classification of verb, and the basic classification of verb is lexislative verb and auxiliary verb. And we have also learned the lexislative formations and the auxiliary formations. Okay? So for today's class, we have learned many things. You have to memorize those, and we want you to actively participate in our question segment. Now the question segment starts. For today's class, we have discussed about the basic 5 formation of lexislative verbs. You have to tell me that what are that V5 formation. Again, what are that V5 formation? You have to understand the fact and you have to write it down in the comment box. So stay tuned for our further classes, and if you like our videos, then share it, like it and subscribe it, and obviously press the bell icon. Thank you.